Good evening and welcome to West Talk. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, and it's also day 5 of Corner Brook's Winter Carnival for those keeping track. And of course, you can keep up with all the events happening in the Carnival booklet that you probably received in the mail, or just go to Winter Carnival's website to see what's on the go. You're watching this now, it's 7:30 p.m. You missed probably the seal flipper dinner, but look for tomorrow. Well, there's lots of things to do. Now tonight, right after you finish watching this episode, if you want to meet some people and do something a little bit different on a Tuesday, you should head to Park West, the restaurant downtown in Corner Brook. I'm hosting a speed dating event, but also I've rebranded it today. We're now calling it Speed Networking. So this is for anybody who just wants to meet some new people and have some great conversations. It doesn't have to be romantic. Just come on out. Casey Callahan's going to be there playing some music, and you'll get 5 minutes to have a chat. There'll be some pre-baked questions for icebreakers and stuff. It's going to be fun. Trust me, we're going to have fun together. So come on out. It's been a great carnival so far in the city. So much action. And of course, we just wrapped up Jib Fest as well, the Jib Fest Weekender, which was incredible. We'll talk about that a little bit more with our second guest. But first, joining me in studio is somebody I've been trying to chat with now for a few weeks. We connected a couple years ago at an entrepreneur event at the university, and I've been keeping a watchful eye on this gentleman ever since because I know that he's going to go on and do some big, exciting things. So here to talk to us today is a man who has just put out a book and a workshop called Money Moose, the Ultimate Canadian Money Manual. And to tell us more about that is Kosube Toba. Kosube, thanks for coming down, brother.
Pleasure.
Now, I wanted to talk about Money Moose. I saw some promotion on the university's Facebook page, I think. And you told me a little bit about it, but I wanted to save my questions for now. So what is Money Moose, man? What is going on with this?
Money Moose. The goal for Money Moose is to teach financial literacy in like a fun, engaging way.
To adults or kids or whoever?
Young adults to whoever.
Yeah.
Basically teaching it in like the easiest manner, like getting rid of all those big words and trying to teach it straight to the point. Yeah.
Do you think that finance is really simple in its core, or do you think it is a very complicated subject?
I think it's pretty simple at its core. I think they just add all of these like, complex words trying to
jargon.
make it more, a whole bunch of jargon to kind of scare people off.
Yeah.
But to like the core of it, it is very simple to understand.
Yeah. So, but do you think that with young people in particular, that there isn't a lot of awareness, or that it's like a under taught subject, like in school and things?
Oh, most definitely. Like I notice a lot of folks like make these mistakes, like when they get to the real world, and then they kind of like, oh, I made a mistake. Now I got to learn about it. Yeah. So that's why I think like a preventative thing is to teach it beforehand. Mm-hmm. So like I say, the problem it's almost like a vitamin problem. There's like a painkiller and a vitamin.
Yeah.
So basically this pipeline of people like, going through poverty and all that stuff there, to avoid that, you kind of want to lower that pipeline of people actually making those financial mistakes.
Right.
Because like a couple of financial mistakes can really, really like,
Totally.
set you back for years, right?
Totally, and people start making those mistakes pretty much as soon as they enter the world. So a not uncommon story is people who graduate high school, get their first credit card, get their first student loan, and 4 years later are instantly in debt, and now it's on, right? And it's really not easy to cause financial distress in your own life. So like what was it that ultimately made you want to take on this role of like educating people about this? Was it just seeing it close to home or friends or?
I think after I graduated high school, so we graduated during COVID, so they kind of like pushed us all along, right?
Right.
And I messaged all of my peers. I asked them like, what's one thing you wish you learned? And everyone had to do something to do with financial literacy, like either budgeting, taxes, investing, like something to do with that. And I was like, oh my God, that's a pretty big issue, right? And as I grew older, I noticed a lot of folks making financial mistakes.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, okay, so this is a problem, right? Why is it a problem? So then I started looking at the solutions out there, and I noticed, like you said, full of jargon, right?
Yeah.
Like really complex. And then I started like fishing around at like different banks. So I went there, hey, I don't know nothing about money. Is there anything you could teach me about money or something like that? And
Those people don't know about it
no,
either.
well, they never had no resources.
Right.
Right, which I was really surprised about. Like my financial advisor, I went to him like, hey, I don't know nothing about money. Can you teach me something? And he pointed at the wall, right, with a bunch of pamphlets going over the terms and like, conditions of different kind of products they offer. Like, credit cards or mortgages, line of credit, but like that's not really teaching financial literacy, right?
It's
and
not.
then I was okay, it's not just one branch, right? It's not just one bank, it's multiple banks. And then RBC do have like this kind of course that you can kind of take, but I actually took the course and it's just full of jargon, right?
Interesting. It's what I think about, and this is no disrespect to any of the financial experts or investment people that I know and love and work with myself, but they are selling a product, and it's not necessarily in like a bank's best interest for you to know everything about your finances. They want you to come to their experts who sell financial products and credit cards and loans and all that kind of stuff, and just let them be the experts in it, right? But I think this is where people get in trouble, is they put it all on somebody else and don't really take on any responsibility of understanding these things that they're contributing money to or borrowing from on a regular basis. But from your perspective, you're still a young person. How were you able to identify, like you talked about seeing people making financial mistakes? What is kind of your background or experience that allowed you to like that insight to be able to see this happening?
I studied accounting, and then all my friends and peers just a lot of them love money, right?
Yeah.
And then like investing and stuff. We all actually had a group chat with like investing and stuff. I think our return's like 34%.
That's pretty good. That's beating the bank.
It is. It's definitely beating the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, all of us kind of just love money, and then you can just see those sort of like mistakes come and appearing.
Yeah.
Another thing I noticed is that like people that like don't achieve those kind of things, they feel like they can never achieve it.
Yeah.
So they say like can't, or if I had it, or I wish, right? And those are all like words that kind of
they're limiting words.
They are limiting words. Like I mean, like I've always been told like my family is like how or when, like it's doable. Like you don't say anything like those words like can't.
I forget what Yoda's line is, but I think there is no try, there is only do, or something like that. Anyway, Yoda, very inspirational. Very cool stuff. So let's just circle back in the last moments of this interview to Money Moose. So what is it that you're actually, because I know you have this sort of manual, which I guess can somebody take that on their own and just work their way through that without other instruction, or does this complement a workshop that you're doing?
This is independent, so if you don't have the opportunity to go through my workshop, because I am doing like schools. Yeah. So like my goal is to do the whole Humber region, which
so you want to go into every school and be able to give this message to
pretty
every
much,
kid.
And the only school I got to do now is down to Bay, and after that I pretty much.
Oh, so you've already
Yes, I'm at like I presented over 504 students.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Future is bright for our economy.
Very bright. And this is like a generational thing, right?
Right.
Like just like right now, I'm teaching financial literacy right now, you're not going to see the impact or benefits of this until like 10, 15 years down the road.
Dude, it's so true. It is very generational. A lot of people who are like in, we'll say, poverty, which is, a lot of people around here by definition, it's like learned. They never had sound financial advice from up along. Their family maybe struggled financially, and now here you are, as a young person trying to figure it out. So I think it's very beneficial. But like you said, that's every year basically. It seems like this needs to be integrated into the school system, right?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But it's just generations. So if they teach their kids about it, like it's the same issue with like the food, like the health crisis. Like you prevent so many if you taught proper diets. Yeah. And then like 15 years, you won't see like, heart issues and all that there. And
right.
Like save.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't show up right away.
No, that's not. It's very, very slow. But one day, I think it's going to make a pretty big impact.
Yeah. So from a business perspective, how does this work for you? Like, would schools or like the school board sort of like pay you to come in and do this kind of thing? How do you support yourself as an entrepreneur through this?
I usually like the community centers will like sponsor the events or any sort of. Yeah, that's how, and then usually from books.
And you can sell the book as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So what do you think, if you could, is there any particular things in the final moment of this interview, any particular lessons or things that you would share now that you think are maybe some of the most common pitfalls, or maybe some of the best advice that you think is in this workshop that you could share with us now?
I think it's just the three sort of stage of being financially illiterate. First, like remove all of your short-term debts, right? You want to get rid of those.
Okay. And we're talking like credit card
cards,
debt,
line, like anything besides like your mortgage, because like that's more long-term sort of debts.
Yeah.
But like start off by building up a baby emergency fund, and then start like tackling like the highest interest. Like mathematically, that's how you remove debt the quickest. And then the second part is then build up a nicer emergency fund. So like maybe 3 to 6 months, and then top it off if you've got kids or a car, as much as you want to feel secure. Now go into your savings account. And then the third step is basically just investing that sort of money after. So just like what the wealthy barber says, like set aside, pay yourself first, like 10%. And then, those are the three steps, but the foundation is budgeting. Like you got to tell your money where to go before you can do all of these steps.
Correct, yeah. And there's restraint involved and other things that skills to learn, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Kosube, thank you so much for coming down, man. How can people who are seeing this now interact with you to get you to come in and talk to them in their school or community center? What's the best way?
You can just message me on Facebook, The Money Moose, and then from there you can purchase this book on Amazon. So if you never learned about it, this is straight to the point.
That's on Amazon now for sale?
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, man, for coming down.
Thank you.
And next time you've got an update to the program or something like that, make sure to let us know, and we'll be glad to have you back.
Most definitely. Thank you so much.
That was Kosube Toba with Money Moose. And we're going to take a quick break, and we are going to be back with an exciting guest in studio. Stay tuned.
Come to where the land and the spirits are intertwined. Discover a whole new way to see this place. Feel the earth under your feet as you walk the path of our ancestors. Immerse yourself in our traditions. Ours is a culture alive with music, dance, art, nature, and adventure. It's in the air, the water, the sound of the wind in the trees. It's in the stories of our elders and the faces of our children, those with a shared history yet to discover. It's knowing that everything that casts a shadow has a spirit. Everything is alive. See what we see. Experience Malibu.
All right, and now we're back with another guest in studio, somebody you've met before virtually in a previous season. This gentleman is the founder and CEO of a company, a nationally recognized brand really that's rooted right here in the culture of East Coast life. Joining me now is Alex MacLean, founder and CEO of East Coast Lifestyle.
Thank you for having me.
Man, thanks for being here. Honestly, you've sent me so many hoodies over the years. I can't believe I picked the one that you also chose to wear today, but I just want to address that elephant in the room.
Love the hoodie.
And thank you so much. So for the viewers at home, what brings you to this couch here today? What are you doing here, man?
So I love Western Newfoundland. It's my favorite place to visit outside of where I'm from, Nova Scotia. But there's so much to do here, from snowboarding, like the last 4 days, snowboarded all day, stayed up very late. As you can tell, my voice is a little hurting.
It's a little dry.
And, but I'm very grateful to be here. But essentially, summertime, we're hiking around, we're going fishing, boating, exploring. And then the winter, it's like the whole different scene. So as you know, yesterday we did snowmobiling all day, explored amazing trails. Snowboarded all day the day before that, so the body's a little hurting.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to do here, so I really enjoy coming over to Western Newfoundland.
Yeah, it seems to me like in terms of like the East Coast Lifestyle brand and the types of things that the brand is associated with and the lifestyle it promotes, it seems like Western Newfoundland is kind of like the highest concentration of all that stuff in Atlantic Canada, maybe.
100%.
You know, from the fishing and the characters and
100% to the food you eat. Like
Yeah.
amazing seafood, amazing moose, just great food, great people. Love getting over here, and I really am grateful that you always get me over here and do a different experience every year. So
yeah, of course. And of course, this time actually it was the homie Brent Mack who
Shout out to
participated
Brent
in
Mack.
bringing you over. Yeah, we had Brent on the show a couple weeks ago, and because I know that East Coast Lifestyle did like a collab with the festival this year.
Yep. Yeah, Brett and I go way back to, you know, he brought artists like Mac Miller to Halifax and would set me up to meet Mac Miller, to now we do clothing collaborations. We try to work on events, but one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life,
Yeah.
super laid back, just like yourself. And it's always great to just party with Brent Mack, go to these events, and just have a great time here.
Yeah, Brent Mack keeps you on your toes for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, we had a great day yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, long day. 5 hours on snowmobiles, ripping around from Pasadena all the way to the backside of Marble Mountain. Amazing views, great visibility, not too cold at all. And shout out to Craig with Rugged Edge for getting us
Yeah.
out there on the trails. That was awesome.
Yeah, Craig's such a beauty. When you need to go see something, you don't have a lot of time, but you want a fun experience. You mentioned moose in the past. You still
Yeah.
haven't seen a moose
No,
yet,
not yet.
but you had a chance to taste them a few times so far.
Definitely.
We had some good moose Sunday night.
Yes, we did. Yeah, Brendan Gould chefed it up. He's a great guy, Port de Soie. He's always making amazing food. He's pouring, you know, bottles of beer into moose with screech and all these different sauce combinations.
Doing science experiments.
Pretty much, yeah. But it's always it's an interesting taste, and we don't have moose on the menu in Nova Scotia, so it's something I get to enjoy here, and kind of always remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, another thing I kind of took for granted too is like when we were out snowmobiling yesterday, I was like, how come you don't have a snowmobile?
Yeah.
And you're like, because there's no snow.
Yeah, we don't have this
we're
much
so
snow.
close together, but like
Yeah.
the conditions are that different. Eh?
Yeah, it's pretty much like very mild in Nova Scotia. There are not a lot of snowmobile trails. People will travel to New Brunswick and PEI a little bit, but you guys have so much more snow, it seems like here,
Right.
and so many trails, and you got places to go in and have a little warm-up drink, or, you know, have a fire and get out
Yeah.
of the cold for a bit. We don't have that stuff in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So
So do you think that like, you know, do you recommend to your friends in Halifax, like as Newfoundland as a place to go visit where they can do, you know, because it's pretty
100%.
close, but not,
100%.
a lot of people maybe don't come over, aren't aware of what's here.
100%. Hour-and-a-half flight. You know, in the summer with Craig Rugged Edge again, we went out, did side-by-siding all the way to Serpentine Valley, where you get insane views, like Lord of the Ring views, as you know, and you're eating food like moose out on the middle of a river, and
Yeah.
just epic things to do. And I always try to tell people about it back home and get them over here, but there's a long list of people that are trying to come over here and
There
visit.
is.
And there's just so many things to do, so it's fun just kind of promoting different adventures, different stuff to do, and putting it on social media for people to see. But I
Yeah.
think with East Coast Lifestyle, it really is East Coast Lifestyle living here and
Yeah.
coming to visit here. So it's really cool to kind of change it up and do fun stuff here,
Yeah.
and be able to put that online and show people how nice it is here.
Yeah, and also to that point, I feel like people here in this region really identify with the brand because of that. Like you go anywhere around Western Newfoundland, you're seeing everywhere you see an East Coast Lifestyle
awesome,
hoodie
yeah.
or a T-shirt, right? Certainly in the airport, like at any given time in the airport, there's 4 or 5 travelers wearing something
Yeah.
because people love to rep it when they're traveling around.
Yep.
Even for me, I've had experiences in other parts of the world where people come up and say, "Hey, nice hoodie," or
Yeah.
"I know Alex," or "I'm from the East Coast," or whatever, right? So it's really cool thing.
Yep.
Now, on our past interview, we got into like your story a little bit, and I would encourage any viewer to go search it up on YouTube. Our last interview with Alex, where we talked about kind of your first 10 years in business, how you got started as a university project, and things escalated so quickly. But like, where do you go from here, man? So this,
Great
you know,
question.
you've had 10 great years, you've built up a great company. It seems like you've made it, but
No.
like, where are you at with this now?
I just love being an entrepreneur, being able to live in Nova Scotia, come to Newfoundland, but essentially it started as a class project at school for the elevator pitch of how it started. Wife was the first hire, really didn't really know how to grow a business. You kind of have to bootstrap it and wear every hat with your staff to get things done.
Yeah.
But this is year 13, so it's like, how can we keep growing this thing? We've got a lot of collaborations on deck to come out this year, working with brands like Bauer, Jeep, different brands that are, you know, either from the States or a globally brand like Jeep, global brand. So it's always cool, and I always strive to reach out to different companies to work with them. Like we do chips with Covered Bridge, we've made drinks with Keys, and it's just a matter of like keeping this snowball rolling, because a lot of entrepreneurs get kind of complacent with, oh, you made it, like you mentioned, but I don't
Yeah.
feel like that at all. I feel like I'm just kind of starting out of school still, but it's like I'm older now.
Yeah.
But essentially, I think you just have to keep grinding, hustling, and figure out ways to keep people talking about business, talking about the brand, because in the life cycle of clothing brands, a lot of brands kind of get outdated and get stale. So it's a matter of like keeping it fresh, changing design, changing colors, and improving quality all the time. So it's like a never-ending cycle of something always has to get done.
Yeah, like I had a little light bulb. Last year we were talking about business a bit, and I was like, man, you know, we've got this huge nationally recognized brand. Where do you go from here? And you're like, a huge globally recognized brand.
Trying, yeah.
Yeah,
trying.
and it seems like there's, you know, the essence of the brand, the East Coast lifestyle. You pointed out to me, you're like, there's a lot of East Coast.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
And there's, I guess, like the East Coast of Atlantic Canada, where there's a couple million people.
Yep.
And
4
now
million,
there's this whole other frontier down below us.
Yep, 400 million. US. So it's 100x bigger. And so it's a matter of like, we have the tariff situation right now. So you send $100 orders to the border and it's a $100 tariff. So it really hinders business right now. So we're focused on Canada. But I was just down in Florida visiting my grandma, saw some people wearing East Coast in Florida. So they obviously either have Atlantic Canada tie or maybe they're proud to be from, let's say, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah.
But everyone has a different mindset towards what the East Coast lifestyle means to them. And, you know, places like, I've been to Tokyo, Japan, that's on the East Coast of Japan. Been to so many countries where they have an East Coast, and it's a matter of like, how do you tap into the lifestyle of their East Coast or the different variety of it. And we have West Coast lifestyle as well, which I'm trying to figure out how do we relaunch that and regrow it and make it authentic to the West Coast. But as you know, I don't consider myself proud at all of the West Coast. It's fully East Coast.
Except for the West Coast of Newfoundland.
Exactly. And it's a matter of like trying to figure out how to grow that business. But we have all the trademarks for it, kind of globally protected, and it's just a matter of like trying to do it authentically and do it the right way. Yeah.
Yeah, that is another thing I've noticed is that as the popularity of East Coast has risen, so have the imitations.
So many.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of knockoff stuff you see. Even here in Newfoundland, you see like Newfoundland lifestyle with the anchor logo, all that stuff. How do you deal with that, man?
Great question. We've had big, trademark issues with international brands. I can't tell you what they're called due to legal, but essentially brand that had 600 stores globally, and they did East Coast Life, and they put that in stores across the world from here to China. And we had to fight them through trademark law and infringement stuff with a lawyer. You got to put 30 grand on the line essentially to go to war with them, and you might fail. And Walmart knocks us off too. Personally, I don't really shop at Walmart because they just knock us off.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me support more local and more like go to your family farm market or like kind of support local business. Why would you support Walmart? That doesn't need your money. You know?
Yeah.
So,
100%.
but yeah, on the island, I've seen Newfoundland lifestyle, Cape Breton lifestyle when I'm home, eat toast lifestyle with a piece of toast in the middle of instead of the anchor. Oil field lifestyle in Alberta. Montreal lifestyle, like it's a never-ending cycle, and thankfully we have a really supportive community of people that when they see a knockoff,
they kind of call it out.
Bring it to us, And then we just try to stay original and try to keep making new logos, stay in our own lane, and then just try to keep the trademark stuff locked in. It's expensive to have trademarks, but at the end of the day, the clothing brand, it really represents the trademark. And if you don't have that, like when I was 21 starting this thing, didn't have a trademark and someone major knocked me off, I would be done and I wouldn't be here right now. So
was that one of the first things that you actually did was establish that trademark?
Yep. So it was thousands of dollars to do just Canada. And then you think about it, well, what if someone sees this snowball in Canada and gets it for the States and then I'm blocked and maybe they're a big company. Like big businesses have knocked us off that are from the States, and it's a matter of like trying to stay original, keep it locked in, keep it protected, and keep it moving. But it's fun.
Wow, man! So it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
You're growing, but you've also got to look forward, and you also got to watch your back.
Constantly, and then to stay, make people, engage with the business, give back, do collaborations, have fun, come to Newfoundland and explore, and just do as much as you can really to keep the business moving forward. Yeah.
Deadly. Man, in the last minutes of this interview, because I know you've now come to know and meet so many people here in Newfoundland and beyond, I just want to give you the floor if there's anything you want to say or any shout out to anybody or anything at all.
Yeah, it's a long list of who I'd like to shout out. But
of course.
Right off the top of my head, massive shout out to Craig with Rugged Edge. I think he's an awesome dude. From side by side in the summer to going out in the winter like yesterday on the snowmobiles, to Darren Park with
Beauty.
4 Season Tours. Love that guy. He's always taking us out fishing, telling us about, him catching tuna or shark, taking us to making food for us on a beach with no internet. Big shout out to yourself. You've done an amazing job getting us over here, doing videos with brands like Jeep and East Coast Lifestyle, coming together, doing exploring.
It's an honor.
I'm trying to think who else. Obviously, Brent Mack, Michael Pittman, Sheppy, Julian. Like the list goes on for days.
The squad,
Jules.
That's that's already a pretty impressive list considering the last 4 days that we've had, right? That's off the top of your head. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it's a great place, and I highly recommend anyone that's never been to Western Newfoundland, get over here and try. I would say my favorite season would be like fall or late summer. I think it's a lot of cool hiking. Grossmore Mountain was probably my favorite hike, or Green Gardens. Those would be 2 amazing hikes for people that can get out and do that. And then I'm forgetting Rob's tour guide that we worked with that day, but he was an awesome guy too.
Oh yeah, Ever Outdoor.
Exactly, Ever Outdoor
Glenn, we went up the mountain with him on the boat. My God, there's so much stuff. We could just talk for an hour about the experiences you've had.
100%.
But unfortunately we can't. But if anybody wants to know anything about adventuring in Western Newfoundland, just ask Alex. And he's got all the phone numbers.
I've been to St. John's a lot, but I prefer this area of Newfoundland because I just think it's truly scenic, beautiful. We've been all through Grossmore and hiking around, eating food in the backcountry, and it's just, there's a never-ending list of things to do here. So highly recommend people get over here. It's not an expensive flight compared to a lot of places in the world, and it's really worth every penny. So
Well said. Thank you so much for the glowing review. Thanks for coming down here today, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you again.
You too.
That was Alex MacLean, founder and CEO of East Coast Lifestyle. We're going to take a break and be right back to close this thing out.
So why volunteer at Rogers TV? Well, it's fun, exciting, and challenging. You can develop practical, hands-on skills in TV production, make new friends, and have fun, all while giving back to your community. For a few hours a week, you can be part of a great team making great local television. Want to find out more? Get in touch with us at rogerstv.com. Make your mark and find a new passion as a Rogers TV volunteer.
And that's it for today's episode. I want to thank Kosube Toba from the Money Moose for coming in and telling us about what he has on the go, and as well to Alex MacLean for making the time to come down for this special interview with us today. That's it for today's episode, but we will be back next Tuesday with another West Talk. Thanks, everyone, and good night.